everybody, and welcome to Raising Vibrations. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the sun sign forecasts for the month of February. And in last month's description, I shared a little bit about the way in which the sun sign and the ascendant work together and why these solar cycles are important to watch and listen to. And in today's discussion, little opener, I'm going to be talking about something that's really fascinating, to be honest. It's always been a way in which we've understood astrology. And today we're going to be talking about something called a neutrino. Okay, the neutrino stream, the neutrino field, the neutrino ocean, however you wish to find it. It is the Aquarian age, in my opinion, word or terminology for the word for prana or energy or chi that we have labeled as a way to understand information and the way in which we experience this universe. So what is energy? What is the way in which we are having consciousness and the way in which we understand the spectrum of light? So neutrino and the neutrino stream or a neutrino itself is a very small particle, okay? It's actually smaller than an atom, and its mass basically penetrates through atoms. And basically what happens with a neutrino is that it contains information, okay, of everything that it passes through. So it permeates the totality of our entire reality in which we experience, and that is how we actually get to understand the astrology impacting us, how we get the planetary archetypes, and how the information passes through us. Okay, it's no coincidence that in the ancient times, we would have a lot of teachings, esoteric teachings, in which the sun would be a way in which we would absorb photon energy, and we would basically have our cellular memory activated through that experience. That's why, if you notice on the internet, there's a lot of things about sun gazing or, spending a great deal of time activating yourself through the sun. The same, obviously, with plants and stuff. It's not a coincidence. And so the information that moves through our reality is this thing called the neutrino ocean, the neutrino stream. And like I said, it was prana, chi, energy, however you wish to describe it. And there's, like I said, these little small particles that are incredibly tiny. They're incredibly tiny, okay? And then in the description below, I've got some links for everybody to go and read and check this out and to educate yourself on, because it's a really fascinating thing to do. Science is really trying to understand this in a very deep way. And so what the neutrino does is it basically moves through the sun, and the sun permeates these neutrinos, and as it basically comes through Earth and it moves through our body, we have all the information imprinting our consciousness, imprinting our body. And this process is the way in which these planetary energies influence us, like I said. All right. And it's according to a system of knowledge, 70% of the neutrino is actually coming from the sun, and the rest of it comes from the universe in itself. And the collapsed stars permeate information. And as it moves through us, through everybody, okay, it moves through us and it basically sticks on us for information, and it moves through and carries information. And that's how we basically are evolving our consciousness, which is why I've come to understand that these sun sign forecasts are really powerful pieces of information to understand, because the fact that we can have the sun sign, so my sun sign Scorpio, your sun sign whatever, the sun, as it basically manifests itself and it permeates the earth, and the neutrino information goes through the sun and through your chart, it activates your consciousness, it activates your template. And this template basically reflects to you the nature of how your consciousness is evolving in this lifetime. So watching your astrology has become something so fascinating to me even more, because as it opens up this dimension of reality, we get to see how much the universe is consistently supporting us with what we have come here to evolve. And that's why, for me, understanding these sun sign forecasts and understanding them through an evolutionary cycle has brought an immense amount of wow, I really actually like this. I really actually enjoy understanding how these things are influencing us in a massive way, more so than I had in the past. So neutrinos, neutrino stream, this is how this information gets imprinted through us. And I wanted to share a picture with everybody over here. Let me just go over to the screen and you can still hear me. And on the right-hand side, you see a guy standing over there and the sun permeating the neutrinos, the information being reflected from the sun. The sun contains light. The light is obviously what we are in consciousness, and that moves through us. And there are approximately 65 billion neutrinos moving through your body every minute. So the capacity for us to actually experience these neutrinos moving through us is so incredibly large. And you can see on the left-hand side over here, the sun, neutrinos from the sun, right? It basically comes from the center of the sun and it moves through all the planetary systems and permeates through Earth. And that's how we obviously are impacted by this. And it's really, really fascinating. And like I said in the description below, there's a couple of links that you can click on to go and read more about this and see some of the experiments that science is doing at the moment to capture this. And according to the way in which they've been able to capture this, only 6% of the 65 million neutrinos has science been able to actually put it down and say, hey, we can spot these things called the ghost particle. So this is a really, really fascinating thing for us to be able to actually track the way in which our consciousness is being imprinted from the neutrino stream. And we're having this happen to us all the time. That's how the nature of the universe moves through us. And we're constantly watching this process just unfold in our way. So really fascinating stuff. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little introduction. And coming up right now is your sun sign forecasts. Aries friends, and welcome to the sun sign forecast for February 2017. Okay, so let's have a look at the themes that are going to be taking place for you for this month. And firstly, I'd also like to say congratulations for surviving January. And if you've got anything that you would like to share with anybody, any of your insights, any of your thoughts that came through, just feel free to write in the comments below. I always like reading them as well. So yeah. Okay. So let's jump straight into this. Firstly, what we're doing is we're looking at Pluto. Remember, every single time we begin to understand our evolutionary progression of our chart, we're looking at Pluto itself as the bottom line, okay? Everything else kind of gets filtered through Pluto because it's the unconscious desires that are being evolved, okay? So when you're looking at Pluto and you're looking at the sun, those are the two major categories in which we're going to be paying attention to, and that's kind of how this astrology works, as I explained in the introduction. So with Pluto still transiting your 10th house of the astrological chart, you are, remember when I say 10th house, I mean as in, or Aries, the constellation Aries. So Pluto is moving through your 10th house, and it's basically reinventing the way that you define yourself, okay? And it can be a really tough transit because the nature of Pluto itself is to remove anything that is not supporting your evolution and provide you with this new opportunity to re-empower yourself. But the experience is having to let go. So this is a new direction for you, a new reinventing of yourself, okay? So that's the bottom line, right? Now we're looking at the solar cycle of the sun transiting the 11th house of your astrological chart, right? So remember last month it was in your 10th and then it clicked over into the 11th. So in the 11th house, we're now working with your social group. We're now working with the people that you are defining yourself with, okay? So when we talk about a community, when we talk about an ecosystem, that ecosystem helps us deeply connect with the way that we live out our dreams, live out our ability to find the aspiration to want to live out our dreams. And it has a lot to do with the community in which we can interact and share ideas and perspectives and basically allow our own sense of identity and personality to be represented and available. So this is a very big month for you to watch how the friends around you and group dynamics around you are influencing the way that you are living your life. Okay. So with the 11th house transit as the sun's in Aquarius at the stage, that will be influencing the overall themes of, okay, what is my life direction? What is the career I'd like to choose? What is the where I'd wish to define myself through? Okay, so that's a big thing, right? What groups do you belong to that are supporting you along this journey? Now, if we have a look over to the symbol of Mars over there, he's moved into the first house, right? So he's moved into Aries, which is amazing for you. And this will definitely give you a big boost in terms of your ability to feel a lot more energized this month. I wouldn't be surprised if you do find yourself beginning an entirely new evolutionary cycle for yourself. And this is a big opportunity for you to really get into a new direction that is being presented to you. And it will come at a nice opportunity for you to feel like your sense of purpose in life, your sense of destiny, as it were, that's being able to be fulfilled. So with Mars transiting your first house or in your own sign, this is a great opportunity to really, really put some energy into things that you've always wanted to do. And they're probably coming your way in a very positive sense. So if we have a look at currently at the moment, this chart is drawn for the 2nd of February. And if we move over to the 3rd of February, okay, we can see that Venus has now moved into the constellation Aries, which is amazing. And again, where has that moved into? Moved into your sign. So not only do you now have Mars and Venus in the constellation here, it's also making this incredibly powerful impact on you by saying, okay, this is the time, this is the month for Aries to find their sense of identity, to find their sense of self-discovery, to find their sense of new pursuit and direction. And it's a very powerful month for you because with both of these planets being in your house, okay, in your actual constellation, you'll find yourself being a lot more energized, giving a lot more attention to things. And it's with both Mars and Venus also moving into Aries over here, this is this great opportunity to give yourself enough freedom. Freedom is the key word for this month, okay? Enough freedom to really begin to figure out what is it that actually does inspire you to do to follow a new sense of destiny. And so try as many things out as possible with this, okay? Now on the 6th of February, we've got Jupiter going retrograde, which you can see over there. There's Jupiter. And this is an interesting dynamic because Jupiter going retrograde, okay, is something that I feel is going to really calm things down a little bit, okay? Right now, February has started off with a fantastic buzz with regards to the way that America has inaugurated their first president. Pardon me, not the first president, but Trump in January. And then we've also ended off January with the whole immigration issue that's now taking place with the policies that Trump's putting through. And these are extremes. Libra is all about extremes. And with Jupiter being in Libra, of course, we're going to see these huge extremes. So as Jupiter now moves retrograde on the 6th, which we'll see now, there we go, there's its stationary, and eventually it's going to go direct retrograde there. There we go. So on the 6th of February, Jupiter goes retrograde, and this will be probably, like I said, it's going to be a calming one in the sense that we're going to have this opportunity to really get in touch with the right kind of balance in our lives. And I wouldn't be surprised that during this Jupiter retrograde, a lot of the partnerships and negotiations and ideas and perspectives in which you felt for you personally, that you established, this is going to kind of change in a very big way for you. And I feel that progressively over this month, you're going to find yourself wanting to be a lot more kind of like wanting to go out into the world, very expansive, etc., but then also changing your social sphere. So that's what I feel. I feel like the social sphere is going to change. And when Jupiter does go retrograde, you'll notice that it actually trines the sun. There's a trine there that's taking place. All right, sun at 19 degrees Aquarius. So the social dynamics are going to readjust for yourself as Mars and Venus are in Aries, pioneering a new direction for you. So this is a new direction. And a lot of that stuff's come out of Pisces over there. So for you, this has really been about surrender, waiting. Finally, yes, we can go. Which I know that this is something that's really big for you, the need to go. Okay, then on the 7th of February, Mercury enters Aquarius, which you can see over there. And this is a big deal because now the mind is now moved into the constellation that's really going to begin to get us thinking faster. So I suspect that this is going to be a nice month to be able to give us the opportunity to accelerate our thinking patterns, to break away from conditioning patterns that no longer serve us anymore, and to really bring us a lot more depth in terms of what it is that we're trying to break away from and recondition. As you can see, Jupiter's retrograde. So as Mercury moves into Aquarius, it begins to create the deconditioning thinking necessary for Jupiter as we reestablish new policies, new ways of being. So I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of the things that we thought were going to end in December and November in terms of our agreements, they're going to come back to the surface again, and we're going to kind of renegotiate with new thinking hats on, as it were. Now on this day as well, which is the 7th, we've got this huge square again that's taking place with Jupiter and the Moon and Uranus, and of course Pluto there as well. So I think that with Mercury entering Aquarius and that square that's taking place in the cardinal is just going to create a shift. So 7th, 8th of February, watch out. Let's see what happens during that period of time. Very interesting. Then on the 10th of February, this is going to be really, really fascinating. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Leo. Okay, so there's the 20 degrees, and we'll just do this over here. And there's the full moon on the 10th of February. Now, that lunar eclipse that's going to be taking place at 22 degrees Leo. This, and if you haven't, if you didn't watch the forecast video that I created that talked about the year of 2017, I highly recommend getting that purchased by myself. That talks a lot about these lunar and solar eclipses that are taking place in February. And you can contact me via email just to kind of arrange to get that download. Now, this lunar eclipse that's taking place here is in the constellation Leo, and it is going to bring to us the feeling of lack of acceptance, the feeling of what community do I belong to, the feeling of who does love me, where can I belong, where is the love, where is the sense of belongingness that we all desire to have, you know? So this is going to trigger the theme for 2017's work. So this lunar eclipse is going to pay a lot of attention to this one around the 10th. And then on the 14th of February, if we go over there, we'll actually see that Jupiter begins to make its quincunx to Chiron, and it really has been doing this, to be honest. But this quincunx to Chiron, as it's retrograde, is going to bring to us a lot of issues around expectations that are not being fulfilled. So this is an important time to begin to readjust the nature of your expectations on things, okay? On the 18th of February, the sun enters Pisces, which of course for you guys, this is a big transition for you, because even though we have, there we go, the sun now enters Pisces, and even though you've been dealing a lot with this Pisces energy over the last kind of month or so, or should I say at the beginning of January, with now Mars and Venus moving into your own sign, you've had a lot of energy. But as the sun moves into Pisces, it's going to bring to you again just a little bit of more sort of attention to calming down a bit, just healing yourself a little bit more, paying attention more to the body, watching more of life give you situations where you kind of needing to go a lot more with the flow of stuff and stuff. So this is an opportunity when the sun transits through this constellation until the 22nd of March to really just evaluate what February was for you, or at least the beginning, the end of January and the beginning of February. Okay, so the end of January, beginning of February, that's what the Pisces sun transit's going to be for you. So this is an opportunity to really just watch what that period of time was for yourself. Okay, Just watch around you, just watch your environment, just watch what's changing around you, etc. And just allow yourself to just be in touch with that. That's the best advice I can give you with that experience. And this is going to be a chill out month for you as well, at least towards the end from the 18th onwards. Remarkable things that are going to be taking place for us is that Mars and Venus in Aries, they're going to be approaching Uranus. Now, this is not yet going to happen because, of course, this is on the 18th yet, but they're approaching Uranus. And Venus is also approaching Mars, which means that we're having completion cycles here. So that's what the sun sign's all about. This is completion in terms of for you particularly, your sense of life direction, the group associations, the people that you want to belong to, etc., the expectations. This is what's going to be happening here, the expectations. And both with Mars and Venus beginning their oppositions to Jupiter, we're going to find ourselves in tension around what are expectations, where are my limitations, what am I expecting from a situation that's not happening the way I think it is. So that's a big deal. And then, of course, on the 25th of February, we've got Mercury moving into Pisces, which will just bring us into more focus around the Pisces energy. And then, of course, if you have a look over here, look at this Pisces experience, right? 25th February, we've got, there it is there, Mercury in Pisces, Sun, Moon, Neptune, Chiron, all in Pisces over there in the South Node. And with this type of signature over here, again, all it's going to do is just going to bring to us this need to pay attention more to the Jupiter. For me, I think that's what it's a lot about. Dissolving the boundaries and expectations, learning to surrender, and just kind of like being more in the flow with things, and allowing us to complete the end of this year cycle. Because of course, once the sun's now in Pisces, we're going to be dealing with the last sign in the zodiac as we finish the solar year cycle. So that's going to be taking place for us towards the end of this month. And again, it's a really, really simple chart. It's nothing too complicated. I think for you guys, predominantly, this is going to be about what groups you're associating with, and then transitioning to kind of more quiet home experience. Okay. And just kind of going with the flow and allowing things to naturally just develop as they are around you. Okay. And then finally on the 26th, which is when we have a new moon, this new moon is going to be taking place. We're actually having a solar eclipse take place in Pisces. And the solar eclipse in Pisces is going to bring to us immense amount of insight around what January has been for us. So for us, this experience of what brings you inspiration versus what doesn't, the expectations that are projected into reality that are not coming to be true, those are the things that are going to come up for us in a big way. And of course, with Mars and Uranus together there, that's going to create the electric shock to say, right, guys, we're going in a new direction. There's new things available for us right now again. And what is it that our new desires are about? So if we had to sum up for February, we're looking at Jupiter as a reconstruction of what we expect. We're looking at the sun transiting through your 11th house, saying, what are the friends I like to belong to? And then moving into more along the lines of, okay, so what are my dreams? What is my illusions? What is my idealizations? And how much am I also going to physically begin to just take care of myself during the end of this month? Okay, and just kind of chill out there for a bit. Just pay attention what excites you. Go with synchronicities as an example. And then finally, Mars and Venus in your first house doing the paradoxical opposite, which is to say, let's go. But it's still about completion. It's still about completion here. Okay. Even though this new Mars Venus energy in Aries is saying, right, okay, let's go. Okay. All right, everyone, have a fantastic February month, and I hope to speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.